friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Lena from Love Me and Crochet, and this is Fiction and Fibers. This is a place where we get cozy, we crochet, and we discuss the latest book I read. So right now I am currently working on a Shrug. I am attending a concert soon, and I want to crochet me a little fit to go along with the theme. I am using the yarn by Big Twist, Rave, in the color Scene Queen, I believe. Yes, Scene Queen. And I am using a 4.5 millimeter clover hook. With that being said, today we are reviewing the book Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I'm super excited to dive into. So if you're ready, like I'm ready, let's dive in. All right, so Happy Place by Emily Henry. What is it about? Okay, basically we are with a girl named Harriet, and she is in school, and we follow her as she goes on this annual trip with her friends, her best friends from childhood. Same trip they do every year to catch up and meet and see each other since they're older and they're just living different lives. So we see her take this beautiful trip. She is in school currently to be a doctor, and she is working hard, and so she has been looking forward to this trip for a very, very long time. And you know, we go with her on this journey. The thing about this is that she has not only been sad about and stressed out about being in school, but she also has a bit of pressure from her family that kind of ties into that pressure. Now, although that is a lot, what adds on top of that is that she recently broke up with the love of her life after about, I don't know exactly how many years, but I think it's around 8 years of being together. And she has not told a soul. She has not told a soul, and her plan is to tell her best friends on this trip. Now, if you read a lot of books, or if you already read this book, you can guess that, well, nobody knows that her and her boyfriend broke up. Not to mention, her boyfriend is very acquainted with everybody in her inner circle. So, how surprising is it when she gets to the trip and he's there? The ex is there, and we go on the journey as she is, well, still healing from the process, because he broke up with her, and now she's faced with him in front of her eyes without nobody knowing, and she got to keep up this facade of a relationship that is currently non-existent, and she's in this pain because she's still grieving the relationship, and she got to act like nothing happened, that they're still close, and that she's happy. So that is pretty much what is happening in the book. It's an emotional journey. It is full of twists and turns and frustrations, and it literally, it's just so good. I gave you this summary without trying to give you too much detail of what happens in the book, but with all of that going on, dealing with friends that she haven't seen in a long time, dealing with family, dealing with her career, and now an ex-boyfriend, just know that the tea is popping hot in the story, and that it literally has you like, wow. So with that being said, let's get into my thoughts. All right, so my thoughts on this book. Wow. Okay. I know I gave a pretty simple summary, but I really urge you and recommend that you go read it, because it is so raw when it comes to the emotions a person could feel in the midst of a very deep breakup, and just to experience every feeling as we are taken through their love journey. Like, in the midst of her pain, we see why she feels every single feeling she feels. We get to know how they met. We get to know what led up to them actually getting together. We get to see how they developed over the years, how they stayed together so long, and then we make it all the way into them breaking up and why they broke up, and how, you know, she was left with no closure to finally getting that closure. And it was very unique to me on how relatable so many things were for me personally, because I believe the character may have been like a few years older than me, like my current age, but some of the things she experienced I could personally relate to in life, and I found the book so relatable. It made me really think about what I experienced in my own journey, and how, you know, if an author can write this, then this journey isn't something that is only unique to me. It is probably something other people around the world, which of course, like, my problems aren't like specific, but you know, like, to see that if an author can write these things, it's not a very lone feeling to have. I felt like it was amazing to see that in the book. Her friends, the friendship aspect, I mean, wow. Like, when you date, all of us girls want to go on double dates, or we always want to bring them into our inner circle, let our girls meet them, woo woo woo. But then when your friends love your man too and things just don't work out, it is kind of scary telling them. And we see how that affects her friends too, the whole journey of everything. And then it even discusses like the strain and sadness it is as we grow up, how hard it is to stay connected to our friends, the ones, especially the ones that are long term. Like, it really goes into that as well, and the hurt that we feel or the sadness we feel from those lost connections that we try so hard to keep together. And I really enjoyed seeing that as something that is quite relatable. You know, like, you grow up with your friends, but then as life goes on, you live completely different lives, and it is extra hard work to stay together. And I just loved how Emily dived deep into that aspect of growing up as well. Just her storytelling in this book was quite interesting as we flip back and forth from the past to the present, and it really just organizes the thoughts of our story. Every time a new thing comes up where it's like, oh wow, this happened, we're able to go back in time and get what led up to this emotion, what led up to this thought, what led up to this event in general, and how said events are affecting each person. And so I really liked how she told the story, and I feel like it's reminiscent to a lot of movies that go on today that like flip back and forth from the past and the present. But I like the organization of how she placed everything, and it really just like, it was like a lot of nice flashbacks, like, oh, I don't get why this is happening, oh, now you're about to find out, like, this is why this is happening, this is what's going on. So with that, I just really enjoyed like how relatable everything was. Like I said before, like, the most meaningful parts for me was just the relatability to the career aspect of how we want something for ourselves, but then like when our family wants something for us and how we want our family to be proud of us, we really like do what they want. And just to watch her choose herself as she goes through this grieving process, as she figures out what she wants, as she learns the truth of why everything happened in the first place, we see her choose herself. And that really spoke volumes to me personally, because it's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta choose yourself. Sometimes you gotta really like learn yourself, figure yourself out, and then do what's best for you. Because I mean, honestly, the only person that can live your life is you. At the end of the day, like nobody's living anything for you. They want you to have a specific job. Who working that job? You. They want you to live a certain life. Who living that life? You. Like, people can say whatever they want. People can have dreams and expectations of you all day, but at the end of the day, you're living the life. Like, they only watching, they only looking, but every experience, everything you feel, every hit that you go through, you're experiencing that by yourself. You have people around you that support you, they can be there for you, they can care for you, but they can't live with the consequences. So when you do what your family wants you to do, or if you do something you don't want to do because somebody told you not to, you're living the consequences of somebody else's opinions. How does that make sense? So as she begins to choose herself, I really enjoyed seeing that come into fruition, and her learning how to deal with the consequences, and the fact that eventually your people will come around. You know, you don't got to tell everybody everything. You know, you want the support, you want the love, you want the care, but you got to take care of yourself first. And when she does that finally, I'm like, yes, I'm so proud of her. It's quite shocking what she chooses to do, but nonetheless, her decisions, I mean, I couldn't tell her anything else. I couldn't tell her anything otherwise. I wouldn't even try to change her mind, because at the end of the day, her happiness is what spoke volumes. And the change of her decisions really showed with her happiness. And that is what mattered. And this is why, even though I am trying not to give too much tea on the book, this is why I gave this book a full 10 out of 10. If you don't think this book is a 10 out of 10, sue me. I'm sorry. But I really enjoyed this book. I just love how relatable it was. I love the writing style. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it was quite impactful. It was shocking, and the love story was beautiful. The love story was beautiful at the end of the day. And I gave it a 10 out of 10. This is the first book that I read by Emily, and if her writing style is like this, I would be interested in another book by her. I have this whole like book list that I am that I'm working through currently. So I know right now there is not another book by her on the list, but I probably will finish it and then go search for more books by her. But I did read some reviews online about the book, and a lot of people's thoughts were not the same as mine, but I think that my thought process was me analyzing the characters' perspectives and the changes and, well, the situations as a whole. There was some crazy things that that happened in the book that I was kind of like, now why would that even happen? But I understood when the characters explain themselves. Like when they explain themselves, it was like, I comprehend that might not have been the best choice, but I comprehend why the choice was made. And I think that is why I enjoyed the book, because we got to see all sides. And I wasn't left with too many cliffhangers. Like I wasn't left with too many strands left untied, and I really enjoyed that aspect as well. I highly recommend this book, so if you haven't read this book, please go pick it up or listen to the audiobook. Go on Libby, go on Audible, go on Spotify, look it up and read the book, and be open-minded. You know, come from an open-minded place and really think about the characters and analyze why they're doing what they're doing as you read it. Like, that is my suggestion. All right, so this is the end of my review of Happy Place by Emily Henry. Let me know down below if you read this one, or if you have any book recommendations that I can check out while I crochet next. If you like this cozy combo, please consider giving a like or subscribing, or even clicking that notification bell so that you can be notified the next time that I post. And with that, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time for Fiction and Fibers. Bye.